Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, tonight we're going to talk about Obama and some things that he said in Chicago yesterday that are really intriguing. There's a lot of different tonal stuff here. Like, he talks on gun control, he talks on gun availability, but he also talks about education and culture, which is something that has not been there before. And this is interesting, and that's where we're going to dive in. But before I get too deep into that, I just want to say from a personal note, you guys had me rolling on the beanie comments yesterday. Phenomenal. I still love beanies, but some of the things you guys were saying, I was dying laughing. Particularly the one viewer that said I look like a swole Tim Pool. That made me cry. Thank you for that. But now let's dive into this article. It's linked in the description box below, and I want to hear what you guys think on this because the why and the distinction that they say is very, very important. Check it out. So, like I said, we're talking about Obama here. Gun salesman of the year of the world until Biden came along, and then he passed that hardcore, right? But check this out. Obama urges gun reform amid spike in gun violence. Quote, Chicago alone can't solve the gun problem. Well, that's ironic because Chicago alone is a majority of the gun problem, which is, of course, a gun control zone, which you guys know that. We've covered it ad nauseum. It's a big problem for the left because it doesn't work. Ahead of the groundbreaking of the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago, former President Barack Obama reflected on the gun violence that has plagued the Windy City and said he intends for his presidential library to be a part of the solution. Okay, part of the solution. No problem with that. Library education, that's nice, right? What's interesting is how he goes about and what he says here, because he placates to the gun control. He always does, he always has. But listen to where he changes and he kind of turns, because this is deep. Quote, Chicago alone can't solve the gun problem, Obama told Good Morning America anchor Robin Roberts in an exclusive interview that aired on Tuesday, adding that Congress needs to pass, quote, common sense gun safety measures, end quote. Okay, that's a tired old line from his presidency. Common sense gun control, common sense everything. It was always common sense. It hasn't worked, but he's still using it. You know, it's kind of like a broken record. But what's fascinating is, like I said, Chicago is like the gun violence epicenter. Gun violence. It's really just the criminal violence epicenter of the entire United States, in some cases the world, right? But listen here. This is the part where he starts to go against it, kind of in an underhanded way. Quote, Chicago alone can't stop the easy access and flood of guns into these communities. Okay, I thought gun control zones made everything perfect. I was under the impression that if there was a gun control zone, it made our cities safer and it was common sense gun reform, and everyone could sleep better at night. No, turns out that you just took the guns away from the legal gun owners and you made a vacuum, a power vacuum of which criminal elements took over because you also demonized the police at the same time, which was silly. But that's interesting because it's kind of a conviction of gun control and how it doesn't work. We can't do it by ourselves, but it's your city. Why not? But what we can do is potentially give young people the sense that there's another way for them to empower themselves other than wielding a gun, Obama said. Yes, 100% agree. There are other ways. He's starting to address the culture piece. He's addressing the education piece. He's addressing the deep-rooted issues that are causing the, quote, gun violence. Not the guns themselves, it's the root cause issue. If you don't have a broken heart, if you don't have a corrupted heart, you're not going to reach out with the previous influences you had and use a gun. That's why it doesn't happen across the United States in tandem. This is why Chicago is an issue, because it's a broken system. But keep going. Listen to where he goes. Reflecting on violent crime in low-income communities and cities like Chicago, Obama said, the constant is young people, mostly young men who have not gotten a good education, 100% true. Don't have a good opportunity. I don't believe they have a good opportunity because of the education, are not seeing good role models, 1,000% he's going towards culture, are living in neighborhoods that are frayed and fractured. He just went down the entire route of inner cities across the United States perfectly. But he basically frayed away from gun control. Interesting how he did that, right? Listen to the last thing he said here. Obama said that tackling the problem is a generational project, one that he intends to address through the Obama Presidential Center programs like My Brother's Keeper, which works to create opportunities for boys and men of color in underserved communities. I have no problem with that at all. But the point is, he's straying away from the gun control argument. He still placated to the left and said gun control, common sense. He said all the buzzwords. But what's important is he addressed directly through his actions in this little interview about cultural issues, underlying cultural rot, not about guns. He didn't make it about guns, he made it about the cultural issues. And that is profound because it speaks to the fact that they're starting to see it. This is a big deal for us, guys. Let me know what you guys think. And I will see you tomorrow morning on the Bullet Points. I'm Braden, signing out.